Thank you. Honorable Mutero.
Thank you, Chair. Grateful. Sesheke Town Council, you are welcome and good morning. Mutelo Mishek, MP for Mitete constituents and a member of this committee, your committee.
Morning, Chair. Morning, Sesheke Town Council. Morning, our permanent witnesses. Morning, our viewers and our listeners. This is Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango Consensus in Kaoma District. Thank you.
Chair, thank you very much. And the Sesheke Town Council, you are most welcome to your committee. Happy New Year. I'm Honorable Simumba Lucas, Member of Parliament for Nakonde. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chairperson, I'm grateful. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament for Mfumbwe constituency in Northwestern Province. You are welcome, Sesheke, to this committee.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning once again. Good morning, Honorable Members of Parliament, our permanent witnesses, Sesheke Council, you are most welcome. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I am Member of Parliament for the good people of Kalulushi on the Copper Belt Province. You're welcome once again.
Remove the video. Honorable Mlenga. Thank you very much. Witness, my name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, and I'm the chairperson for the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Your committee, the committee are appearing before this morning. A witness, members of Parliament enjoy the immunity under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, and the same is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee, that whatever you say here during our interaction will not be used against you in any courts of law. However, if you mislead this committee, you choose to mislead this committee, the same Cap 12 will be applied on you. But I have no doubt in my mind that you wouldn't do that, and that this morning you're going to give us factual information, the information that will help us generate a very good report, the report that will submit before Honorable Madam Speaker in the main house. With that said, Council Secretary, I will now invite you to make your submission before this committee. But there's a first query, Council Secretary. Is this your report? Is this your report, sir?
Yes, Chair.
We are failing to identify it with you, because this particular report is not signed. There's no stamp for Sesheke and your signature, sir. We have not seen it, both on top and at the end of your report.
Chair, it is my report.
Yes, members failed to identify, because all the reports when they come, just like we have this is a Senanga report. You can see the stamp here and the signature for the principal officer. Throughout the name of the Council Secretary, and we can pick another report. So that's why members were saying, why this one different? So we spoke to Secretariat. They have informed us that you sent a letter that is signed and everything there, but the same was supposed to be on this. On those bases, we'll continue, we'll transact business. Please make your submission with further guidance that Council Secretary, you want to read the query and then the management response, the action that you have taken as management, the remedy that you are offering on each query. In that fashion, sir, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I proceed, Chair, I wish to request that with your authority, I think I have two documents which I would request that they are inserted. on my report.
Okay.
The first one, Chair, is a document which is signed. This is a set of minutes that are appearing under Appendix 3.
Appendix 3.
We realize
one of
that
members, Appendix 3, you can distribute. Secretariat will pick the. And the second one?
the second one, Chair, is also an insertion. The second one, Chair, is supposed to be inserted on Appendix 10.
Appendix 3 and Appendix 10.
The first one, Chair, is supposed to be inserted on there's a set of CDF committee minutes. So just at the end, that is where that set is supposed to be inserted. It is showing the signature.
We'll get there. That's
Okay,
fine.
Chair.
Thank you.
The second copy is this one. I don't know if we are circulating it now, Chair, or when we get to that point. I seek to guide it.
Better we do what we've done.
Okay.
Circulate.
Thank you, Chair. This one is supposed to be inserted on Appendix 10.
Are we done?
Yes, Chair.
We may continue with the guidance given on to you, but bearing in mind that next time you have to identify yourself with your report
Noted, Chair.
by way of
Signing. Thank you very much. Chair, the first query has to do with the failure to correct defects. Cause of query, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that a notice was issued to the contractors following an inspection after receiving a complaint by the school on some defects that were identified on the floor. After engagement with the contractor, Mr. Chairman, the contractor expressed lack of capacity to execute the works as the cost of materials was higher than the available resources. As such, the contractor, Chair, requested for more time to mobilize resources. Action taken, management wishes to state that the defects, Chair, were rectified. We can see Appendix 2. Remedial measures, management wishes to state that future floors for all public buildings will be done using terrazzo floor because it is a more durable type of a floor. Chair, the next query is questionable variation. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that while the CDF committee allocated additional funds to the project, the authority from the Secretary to the Treasury has not been traced. Further consultations, Mr. Chairman, revealed that actually authority was never sought for. Action taken. Management wishes to report, Mr. Chairman, that a letter was written to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development requesting for ratification of the additional funding. Mr. Chairman, the letter to the PS and the response thereof appearing under Appendix 6. Actually, that is the Appendix 3, Mr. Chairman, sorry. That is the document that we're circulating just now. Remedial measure, Mr. Chairman, management will ensure that laid down guidelines and procedures are adhered to. The next query, Mr. Chairman, lack of performance security. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that reliance was placed on the Public Procurement Regulation of 2011, Section 127(1), which states that a procurement entity shall request a performance security for all contracts for goods, works, and non-consulting services with a value greater than 500,000 kwacha to secure the supplier's obligation to fulfill the contract. Therefore, in compliance with the regulation, considering the contract amount, the performance security was not demanded from the contractor, despite the clause appearing in the contract. The piece of legislation we are referring to, Chair, is attached on Appendix 4. Action taken. Management wishes to acknowledge the findings of the Auditor General and has affirmed the addition of the clause into the contract, which appeared in the general conditions of the contract, but was not included in the specific conditions of the contract, which guides on what clause should be included in the specific conditions of the contract. We can refer to Appendix 5, Mr. Chairman. Remedial measure, Mr. Chairman. Management wishes to state that adherence to the obligation of the contracts in reference to the Public Procurement Act and Public Procurement Regulation will continue to be followed when awarding contracts. The following query, Mr. Chairman, under cross-cutting, audit findings, budget performance. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the 2 million variance in funding were funds withheld at source for purchase of the CDF monitoring and police vehicles. In addition, there was interest earned of 48,825 kwacha 68 ngwe on the revolving fund account during the period under review, of which management is going to retain in the revolving account as per guidelines of 2022. The balance brought forward of 2.486, 22 kwacha 51 ngwe from 2021 was for community projects that were ongoing at the beginning of 2022, as these were committed funds. However, Mr. Chairman, in February 2022, CDF guidelines were issued, and following the issuance of the circular requiring trainings to be conducted in 3 months prior to any CDF activities being undertaken. On completion of this training, Mr. Chairman, CDF committees were formed, after which consideration of applications were made, approvals were sent to the ministry centrally. Appendix 6 talks to this, Mr. Chairman. Action taken. Management wishes to report that it has since spent 17,218,736 kwacha 58 ngwe on CDF activities, leaving a balance of 6,521,174 kwacha 33 ngwe as at 31st December 2023. The table illustrating this, Mr. Chairman, is shown below. Also Appendix 7 is being undertaken. On a completion of this training, CDF committees were formed, after which consideration of applications were made. The approval was sent to the Ministry centrally of Local Government. Furthermore, once approvals were granted, contracts were sent for clearance to the Attorney General's office in Lusaka. Action taken, Mr. Chairman. Management wishes to report that an amount of 9,868,866 kwacha 71 ngwe was spent on CDF community project, leaving a balance of 6,422,620 kwacha 47 Ngwe as at 31st December 2023. See the table below, Mr. Chairman. Refer Appendix 6. There is also a status report on that table, Mr. Chairman. Appendix 8. Remedial measure management will ensure that budget cycle and each activity will be carried out in the preceding year of implementation such that approvals are given by the beginning of year of execution. The next query, Mr. Chairman, is failure to disburse soft loans. Cause of query, management wishes to, when management acknowledges the auditor's observation, however, the delay in the disbursing of the 2022 soft loans was due to the delay in the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the local bank, Atlas Mara, and the government. Further, the bank took long to organize itself as it appeared not to have been ready to commence with the disbursement. Action taken, Mr. Chairman, management wishes to report that the institution disbursed the 2022 CDF loans to the beneficiaries on and about 20th of July. Mr. Chairman, Appendix 6 has the bank statement, which actually shows the dates when the loans were being disbursed, around 20th, 21st, thereabout.
You've gone back to Appendix 6?
Yes, yes. The evidence on Appendix 6, Mr. Chairman, applies to two actually queries.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Remedial measure, Mr. Chairman, having clear guidance on the management and disbursement of loans in place, management shall endeavor to always disburse the funds during the first quarter of CDF funding.
So what do we do with Appendix 9? Just on the same page.
It has ledgers, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
Sure. The next query, Mr. Chairman, bursary, secondary school and skills development and spent grants. Cause of query, Mr. Chairman, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the unspent funds were as a result of low response from the potential learners that applied for the 2022 CDF. Learners expected to be provided with the transport to the institutions of learning, and when they learned that this was not available, most of them fell off. Also, almost most of them expected to be provided with meals, a misconception that they would be paid allowances. Action taken, Mr. Chairman. Management wishes to report that an amount of 3,603,576 kwacha 27 ngwe was varied to community projects. Mr. Chairman, there is a table below which is speaking to this. Remedial measure, Mr. Chairman, the Council wishes to will ensure that more sensitization is done to encourage more learners to apply for bursaries and skills. The next query, Mr. Chairman, bursary, secondary school, boarding and skills development, failure to report. Mr. Chairman, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the physical inspection was conducted. Mr. Chairman, I wish to apologize there. I think the date is not inserted, but the date, Mr. Chairman, is 11th November.
Honorable members.
11th November. This is the date when the inspection was conducted.
11th November.
2022.
Yes, sir.
And it was discovered, Mr. Chairman, that a number of students who had not reported had actually reduced. However, Mr. Chairman, a write-up was done to the institutions that had students and pupils who had not reported.
The write-up was done to the institutions?
To the institutions with regards to
Okay.
the amounts for the students who had not reported. Mr. Chairman, in this particular query, we
No,
have...
just continue reading.
Okay.
If clarifications will come.
Thank you, Mr.
Put
Chairman.
down.
Action taken, Mr. Chairman. Management wishes to report that a letter was written to Mongo Trades Training Institute, dated 7th January,
Dated?
9th January 2023.
Yes, you are almost there. Cool down. Just take
Thank
it
you, Mr.
easy.
Chairman.
Yes, cool down.
I didn't realize I was...
Cool down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Management wishes to report that a letter was written to Mongo Trades Institute, dated 9th January 2023, authorizing the college to allocate the outstanding balance of 93,888 kwacha to cover for the 21 students, that did not report for training towards the students' meals for 2023. Letters, Mr. Chairman, were also written to Sesheke Secondary School and Libes of Livingstone, demanding for the refund covering the pupils and students that had not reported, Mr. Chairman. Appendix 12 speaks to this fact. Remedial measures, Mr. Chairman, the local authority will continue sensitizing learners, especially on the introduction of meals, and to report and stay in college for training as the local authority continues supporting them through the Constituency Development Fund. Mr. Chairman, this ends my report.
So if there is no signature here, the end must have your signature.
Mr. Chairman,
Please, next time. Thank you so much, honorable members. Who have Honorable Shakafuswa to introduce himself, and then we'll start with Honorable Simumba and Mwene in that order. Honorable Shakafuswa.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chairman. Since I have the microphone, can I start with a question and then introduce myself?
Introduce yourself, then if you have a question, we'll pick it from there.
My name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I represent the good people of Mandevu. Mandevu is where you are here. So you are welcome to Mandevu constituency. Yeah, thank you so much. Utilizing the microphone.
You may switch off your mic, sir. Thank you.
I wanted to just take you to page 6 on unspent grants.
Page 6
for skills, bursaries, and secondary school. You are saying you have varied the unspent amount of 3.6. I have not come across the list where you varied the funds to. And I've seen the appendix 10 that you asked us to look, but there I'm not able to get anything as to what you varied the funds for, and whether you obtained permission from the minister to vary these funds since it was 2022. I think.
Is it on the same? Honorable Singombe, is it on the same? Was your hand up, sir? Honorable Singombe? On the same, yes, sir.
Yes, Chair. Seriously, on the same unspent funds, you can see you used a smaller amount or on fewer students. Did you do any sensitization to increase on the enrollment so that all the monies could be used up? And if you did any sensitizations, are you able to provide evidence to that? I submit, Chair.
CS and your team, I must clarify where you need help. Your team is to be consulted. And the team, you can also just say, I can take it. Because sometimes we've seen you struggling. Yeah, that's good. So just indicate your hand, then the principal will point at you. CS.
Chair, thank you very much. We have done a lot of sensitization. In the first place, Chair, I think the 2022 CDF was the first where we were to support students and, pupils. So the first uptake, Chair, was very low. So we have carried out sensitizations and we've continued to do so.
So we are talking of 2022, where the uptake was very low.
Yes, Chair.
Did you do sensitization?
Yes, Chair. We did sensitization, Chair, and you will see that 2022 and 2023, the uptake is different.
Okay.
Going to date, Chair.
So why is the uptake different? You did sensitization in 2022.
We did sensitization in 2022, and like I did allude to, Chair, I think people had misconceptions about this funding.
All right.
Others felt that you needed to pay for their transport. Others felt that they were entitled to be given allowances. And so that's how we find, even those that reported initially, some of them came off.
Let's go to the second question. Do you have the list? You've varied the funds. Where is supporting evidence?
Chair, yes, we did vary the funds in the tune of 3.6 million. And Chair, I think Appendix 10 speaks to this. This is where these funds were varied to.
Honorable Shakafoso, Appendix 10. Honorable members.
Where is the correspondence from the ministry or the POGO that is speaking to this list?
Mr. Chairman, there is a letter from, I think, the PS. It's attached on one of the appendices, where...
First, you are saying Appendix 10, isn't it? So where is your letter to the ministry?
Well, Appendix 10, Chair, has a list of activities where these funds were varied to.
Yes.
The letter...
Did you vary the funds? Yes. You wrote, yes, go to Appendix 10. So, where is that write-up from Sesheke Council to the ministry? And the response from the ministry?
Chair, I may not be able to see it now, but probably our considered view as this was enough.
No. That is your considered view. We varied. The view of your committee is evidence-based. In your own words, we varied the funds, we wrote to the ministry. Where is the write-up and the response?
There are two variations, Chair.
Whether it's one, or there are two, or there are 10, all accepted. Where is the backup?
Chair, the backup is
We've
there.
gone to Appendix 10.
No,
we've
Appendix 10, Chair, there's only this.
Okay,
document.
so which appendix do we have the write-up? So that we move. I'll repeat. The team that you have can also be of help. If anyone has found where the write-up is, You help the principal, please. The lady and gentlemen, if it is not there, just tell your committee it's not there, so that we move
Mr.
forward.
Chairman, the letter is not on Appendix 10.
You forgot to do what you did, to say, no, I have two things to do. I want to circulate these documents. On this one, you sat on your duties.
Well, Chair,
Honorable members, no matter how much. Last question on this, we move to another question.
The second last page on Appendix 10.
Second last page, Appendix 10. Yes, sir.
I'm just waiting for the CS to get there.
Appendix 10, the second last page.
You're there.
yes, Chair.
Have you seen the total amount for the IPC there? The last column, there is a total there. How much is that? If you go to Appendix 9, flip 2 pages before Appendix 9, you'll be where I am. It's because they've put Appendix 9 after Appendix 10. Okay, my document. Okay, sorry. So let's go to Appendix 10, the second last page on Appendix 10.
Again, second last page.
And we have,
We have numbers there, Honorable Shakafuswa, 1, 35. So which number? Just look at on Appendix 10.
there's a table there, table 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's now what I'm saying. Are you seeing page, table?
Table 37.
The number 37, that table?
37.
It's here.
Yes, Chair.
See there.
On table 37, are you able to tell us the total amount on IPCs, the payment? There's payment, budget, balance. And then down there is total. My table says 9.3 million kwacha.
Yes, I've seen the figure.
So how do you want to help the committee to reconcile the unspent funds of 3.6 and the total expenditure of 9.3? And this is why I was asking you to show us what activities you had spent on the varied amounts. How do we reconcile the two?
It's this one.
Treasurer, be of help.
Thank you, Chair. The 9.3
Yes.
was the total expenditure on community projects.
Have you heard that, sir?
This is
But are you seeing on the table, it says
yes,
varied funds from Katete Primary School. Then you've put a total.
the 9.326. This
It
is
is
the total.
not linked to that table. It's a standalone. Because you have a subtotal. Yes or no? I'm trying to, so that we follow together. I'm seeing a subtotal which is connected or linked to table 37. Then that total is overall total.
Yes, Chair.
Or because I've said it, now you are Googling through the chair?
No, Chair.
Okay.
It's just a design of Excel. Otherwise, it presents the entire total for the regions.
On the same?
Chair,
Um,
thank you. On the same, when you look at page 7,
Switch off your phone, Director of Finance.
on the don't go away on that table.
Yes.
Now go to page 7.
Let's be on page 7.
There is expenditure up to date. So when you look at the community amount, it's 9,326,000, which is starting with the same on project number 37 here. So now you had to valley 3 million to projects again, and I'm sure this amount you have utilized, you have spent. Now if you spent another 3 million when you were on project, you spent on about 9,327,000. Again on bursaries you spend 3,603,000. Why do we still have amount spent 9 million? Why didn't you add the very 3 million that you had to valley from bursaries, so that it has to be about 12 something, Chair? Chair, submit.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The 3 million deducted or varied from bursaries, it was added to the total amount of 11 for community projects, which came to 13 something.
Where is it?
It's on the same table.
On page what?
Page 7. So the one in brackets, it shows the deduction. We varied those funds to community projects.
Chair.
Yes.
Yes, the narrations are different. My colleague has spoken about the 9 that you are showing us here. So, if on community, you have 13 here, okay? Let us look at the first table. You have 13, and after your expenditure of 11, of 3 million. I don't want to confuse myself. I'll stick to my earlier questions. Because why I'd asked you why the balance is because I'm not able to see a list of what you varied these funds to. It's very confusing, in short. And the chair was almost moving away. For us, we'll conclude that you spent these funds as a local authority without authority from the due process in terms of getting it from the provincial local government officer or that time from the ministry, as it were. I thank you, Chair.
The committee concluded to say, in the absence of your communication to the ministry and the ministry to you, there's something fishy, because then we will not be able to clearly interpret. Principal, are we together?
We are together, Chair.
Different question. Honorable Simumba, then Honorable Mwene. That's what we are indicating.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, I will take you to page 2.
Page 2.
I'm interested, Chair, on this questionable variation. When you look at the cause of query, the management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that while the CDF committee allocated additional funds to the projects, the authority from the secretary to the Treasury has not been traced, number one. Further consultation revealed that actual authority is not there because it was not requested. Two. Action taken. Management wishes to report that a letter was written to the Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development requesting for ratification of 86,450 variations. See Appendix 3. Chair, this is the submission that the Council submitted.
Yes.
Now, in the first place, they are telling this committee that the authority which they had to seek at first is not traced. Number two, again they are saying further consultation revealed that the actual authority is not there because it was not requested. I'm getting confused. The first question is, was the authority given to you that you should use this 86,450? Second, Chair, when you look at the letter of request, to me it's dating. The council only wrote to the ministry
This
only
January.
12 February 2022. I would want to find out in Shesheke, do you use the money before authority, or you seek authority before using the money? And if you seek authority before using the money, why writing to the ministry request for ratification now when the money has been already been used? Chair, I submit for now.
Yes.
Chair, I think the questions are very crystal clear. The procedure is when funds are being varied, you are not supposed to use them until authority has been sought. In this particular case, Chair, I think these funds were used. And I think my office take full responsibility over this matter by virtue of holding this office. Authority was not there. I think, you know, most of these issues, Chair, when you are queried, that's when you start looking around and you...
That's when you wake up.
Yes, yes, Chair.
Are you, in simple terms, you are saying by virtue of holding this office, you are trying to run away? You are trying to say, I was not there.
No,
yes
Chair,
or no?
I'm not running away, Chair. I've indicated that my office takes full responsibility. Authority was not sought. Okay? When this issue came up, we tried to, you know, look around the documents. We were not able to find this, and then we realized we needed to seek for authority. We needed to have this expenditure ratified, Chair. And that's how we were able to write the letter to the ministry seeking for ratification of this expenditure.
Letter.
Yes, Chair.
Did you indicate to say these monies have already been used as you are seeking authority?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. But the procedure was not followed.
The procedure, Chair, was not followed.
Going forward?
Going forward, Chair, I think as a remedial measure, management wishes to indicate here that will ensure that laid down procedures and guidelines are strictly
And the
adhered
ministry
to.
accepted to say, yes, we are ratifying things which you spent.
Where Chair wouldn't want to say much, but I think there's a letter from the ministry.
No. Strange. Strange. Honorable Mwene, is it on the same? Okay. So, Honorable Nyambose, you introduce yourself from Honorable Nyambose. Is it on the same? Yes, Honorable Nyambose, introduce yourself, your question, then Honorable Mwanza, in that order.
Thank you very much, Chair. Pardon my voice. I've just returned from the ceremony. Chair, my full names are Mishek. I'm just from the Nkwala traditional ceremony of the Ngonis. As you can tell, my name is Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency. Chair, I missed you and the team. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for the
Chair,
prayers. It rained.
Yeah, after the prayer by the president, then it rained. Thank you, Chair. Back to business, Chair. I'm very concerned, Chair, on the same transaction. And I wanted to find out from the Council Secretary, prior to the start of the disbursement and utilization of CDF, Chair, the councils were taken through a lot of orientation, and guidelines were put in place by the ministry as to the procedure that needs to be taken for any project to commence and to be approved. And one of them, I mean, each and every council spent colossal sums of money to attend these initial meetings that were called by the ministry. Council Secretary, what did you think could have motivated whether you or your office to go against the regulations and spend money without approval? What could have motivated? What could have been the case? Chair, it's not only CDF, even ordinary funds in the councils. You cannot spend without following the regulation. Everything is procedural. But here is a council secretary for Sesheke who goes ahead contrary to the regulations. What could have motivated this officer to do, or this committee? And for such a transaction, Chair, it is not only the council secretary. The committee, I believe, if the council secretary is new, but other officers were there, what made these other officers, if they are here, go ahead to approve this transaction, which was not approved by the authority? I submit, Chair.
Do we have the internal auditor?
Yes, Chair, I'm around.
You've heard that question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You sanctioned?
We advised, like the CS had put it. We tried to look for the documents, and the only thing that we had found were the minutes for the CDFC committee.
You area on said you advised?
At the point when the matter was raised, we tried to look for the documents, but...
Were you there?
By the time, no, I wasn't there by
All right.
then. Yes, sir.
All right.
Chair,
You took office, isn't it?
Yes, Chair.
Did you find anything in your books as audit, internal audit?
There were literally no records on the files. Only the minutes were the only visible documents that were
Yes, Principal.
Yes, Chair, it is regrettable that this happened. And that's the more reason why my office takes full responsibility over this lapse, Chair.
And you know the consequences of not following laid down procedure?
Yes, I do, Chair.
All right.
Who was the CS before you took over? And where is he now?
The council secretary who I took over from is Mr. Malenga. Mr. Malenga.
Where is he now?
He should be, is it Rufunsa or Luangwa? Luangwa. He's in Luangwa.
Okay. Honorable members, let's be winding down on this one. Yes, we have very limited time.
Chair,
And
just for
where is the
record.
internal auditor? The one who was there?
Is my assistant now.
But he was the substantive.
It's difficult for me to.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are not the commission.
Chair, just for the record, also the ministry to take this step of approving
Honorable
ratification.
member, leave the ministry.
Okay, yeah.
Let's
Now,
leave the ministry.
the question, Chair, is...
we are dealing with Sesheke. The ministry.
yeah, they are coming. The ministry will
Yes,
come.
Yes.
I wanted to find out the amount that you requested, because there are two amounts here. In the report, you have stated, when you look at action taken, you are saying management wishes to report that the letter was written to the permanent secretary from the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development requesting ratification of 86,450. Now, just check your request. How much did you request? And why did you just request 86
Principal?
450 instead of 86 540? Chair, I submit.
We have two figures, 86 540, 86 450. Director of Finance?
Well, Chair, I want to believe this was a typing error.
That is not the first time we are hearing such things. Internal auditor, do we have issues like typo error in auditing?
No, Chair.
Yes, you've heard. Your own internal auditor says no. So we find it so hard, extremely hard, to accept typo errors here. No wonder you were in Chalimbana. But how do you write to your ministry and say it's a typo error? Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you. The same, the same project, the one by 2 classroom block at Livuyu, Kawuyu. Is it? Are we talking about the same site on page 1?
Is it the same site?
Because
on page 1?
Page 1. Page 1. There's a query.
Yes, Chair, it is.
It is, and you have vividly explained that you requested for 86,450, and I don't know which figure to take, 86,450 or 86,540. But it seems the auditor picked two variations. The auditor picked two variations, and the total cost of the variation was 116,391. There were two variations on the same project. So we want clarity. What was the final, what was the total variation, and where is the proof? If it were two variations that were done on this project, where is the proof of these two variations? And maybe the clearance you have already explained, but did you utilize 116,391 or 86,540?
Yes.
And what was the mode of execution of this project? Because I'll see in your minutes somewhere you're instructing the community to
contribute,
to do the work. So what was the mode of execution for this particular project. These two questions, please.
Those two clarifications.
Thank you, Chair. In the first place, I think the contract was a full contract.
Oh, so if it was a full contract, do you have community contributing anything?
Well, no, there wasn't anything.
In the minutes?
Go to Appendix 3.
Appendix 3?
The page, page 2 of, page 3 of the minutes. Page 3 of the minutes. Appendix 3. Appendix 3, the minutes of the CDFC meeting where this matter was tabled. So page 3 of the minutes, just before the heading of progress report on all CDF profiles. The second...
The council should engage the community members to rebuild the structure up to wall plate and gable level, and then the final part be completed by the contractor within the budget, just for the sake of time management. Are you reading with me?
Yes, Chair.
Now you said it was a full contract. Then the same council encourages.
Well, Chair, according to the information I have, this was a full contract.
Now, according to your report, the council, which is still you, this report has not been generated by Parliament. No wonder we asked, because you can now tell us to say this report is not mine, because you never signed on it.
No, it's mine, Chair.
Do you take full responsibility? It's your report?
I do.
Yes. Are you, as council, who wrote that? What I've just read with you.
Chair, the director.
Is this coming from Sesheke Council?
Yes, it is.
Now, why do you want to submit something else?
Chair, let director help me.
Director of who?
Works.
Yes, Director of Works.
Thank you, Chair. The document that we are referring to...
First question was this contract labor-based or full contract?
Thank you, Chair. The contract was a full contract.
So, page 3, bullet number 2. Why are you now encouraging the community to do some work?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the document we are referring to are minutes of a CDF committee meeting. And so, on number 3, on page 3, when we read this paragraph, allow me to read it from...
Yes.
Okay. After a length of discussion, by the due consideration and upon a approval by Mr. Muvita and duly seconded by Mrs. Veronica Zambwe, these two members, Chair, are members of the committee.
Yes.
The contractor, it was resolved that the contractor be re-engaged. Okay? So that speaks to the mode of the contract, which was a full contract.
Okay, now you are bringing more other issues. Again, was the contract full contract or labor-based?
It was a full contract.
So why are you re-engaging?
Chair, when you look at the appendixes, there is a letter that was instructing the contractor to halt the works.
Why? Why?
I believe, Chair, the documents are very clear where they were stating that there were concerns by the public on the works that were being carried on.
Now we are
Chair.
also reading here, Director of Works, to say you as council management directed the community to contribute. What were you directing? Why? Why were you directing the community?
I beg your pardon, Chair. The council did not instruct the community. This was just a suggestion or a submission by the committee member.
All right. Out of this suggestion, you re-engaged.
Yes, Chair, the contractor was re-engaged. according to
Meaning the
letters.
first engagement was not good. Back to the first question, because you opted to start by answering the second question. Let's go to the first question. The variation was of 2.
Chair, the variation, there are 2 variations that are appearing.
Mm-hmm.
There's 116, and then there's 86.
Yes, sir.
Chair, when you look at the contract sum, which was the initial contract sum, and the variation of 86, that is the total amount of money that was spent on this contract. When you add the other variation of 116, it goes beyond what the council spent.
Mm-hmm.
I had a look, Chair, on the figures that make 116. 116 is an addition of 70,000 plus, I think, 42,000.
Another addition of 70 and what? Where are those figures? Because we are not seeing those figures.
Chair, I've just been consulting my treasurer here.
Treasurer, help.
Because that document was there.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Yes, it's unfortunate actually it's not attached.
CS, have you heard the consultation?
Yes, I have.
What's
Chair.
the answer?
The correct,
What's the answer from your treasurer?
that there's no attachment.
Exactly. So what do you want your committee to believe in? On that one, we are done. Honorable on the same? Honorable Shakafuswa, Honorable Nyambose, back to Honorable Mwanza.
So, Chair, aside from implementation, the councils should ensure that quality works are being undertaken. I've noted that actually the red flag on shoddy works actually came from the Office of the Member of Parliament. Through the CS, was the Department of Engineering and DPO undertaking monitoring that the works were being done as per scope? And also it brings in the internal auditor. Before payments were being made, were you undertaking checks to see that the scopes and quality works were being undertaken by this contract? Because payments were being done, yet the shoddy works were being implemented.
Director of Works.
Yes, Chair, the supervisions were being done.
Why had it to take the Member of Parliament to raise the concern, to halt the works? Of course, the works were halted through a letter by the Member of Parliament. If you were doing the monitoring. Honorable Nyambose?
Chair, before I ask a question, Chair, sitting here for a few minutes, I'm able to pick that most of the people here are new at Sesheke. Why do I say so? The Director of Works, the way he was responding to your question, he seems not to be the one who was there. Then coming to what Honorable Shagafuso has asked, same, it comes to the same point. Council Secretary, was the Director of Engineering involved, or was he in Sesheke during the time of the period that we are looking at of this audit, before I ask substantive one?
Thank you, Chair. The current Director of Works sitting with me here was not there.
Chair, it is quite... I come now to the other question. Even when you are not present, you are not there during the time that we are reviewing, it is perpetual succession and you take over. You went to Charimbana to look at this report. What were you doing in the famous Charimbana session? If you could not tell, you don't know where the 70 has come from, what were you doing? And when you were coming here, what satisfaction did you have that you are equal to the task to answer to these questions? Because it is quite challenging for this committee to get anything from Sesheke. It had to take the Member of Parliament to stop the shoddy works. When we have competent officers, planners, directors of engineering, who were monitoring as per response from the director to Honorable Shagafoswa, why did you continue with the shoddy works? It had to take the area Member of Parliament to stop these works. And when you went to Charimbana, did you look at this report? You brought it to us thoroughly, to look at each and every part of this report, even the appendices, because the responses are coming quite disturbing. And if you continue asking, you don't have the answers. It is speaking to the point. Why did the Commission transfer most of the people? Was it arising from the concerns from the community, or is just a routine transfer? Because we are dealing with people who are not there here, Chair. I submit.
Okay. Sometimes then it comes to a point where the chair will say, you are now putting my job into a problem, because you want to appear to be so innocent. No. What we are reading is the community to raise the red flag, the MP, meanwhile the officers were there. When the burn rate comes, it's the MP. We'll take the last round of observations, and thereafter the committee will make its own recommendation. Honorable Mwanza, Honorable Mwene, as we are winding.
Chair, thank you so much. This very classroom block, whether the Director of Works was there or not, but there are some officers that have been there. It seems this project, Chair, they have hidden a lot of information. One, we are not clear about two variations. The two variations that were picked by the auditor are speaking to two different amounts of detailing different works. And this 86, whether it is 86,450 or 540, it means it is a third variation, because it has a different amount. Then the project started in 2021. 2 years down the line, my concern is even on page 1, they are referring us to see Appendix 1, to where they are saying the contractor expressed lack of capacity to execute the works as the cost of materials was higher than the available amounts, and as such, they requested for time to mobilize resources. They requested for time to mobilize resources. See Appendix 1. So if I go to Appendix 1, I'm expecting to see a letter from the contractor to seek for time to mobilize resources and to express that there's that lack of capacity. Then the defects that you have shown us in the pictures, showing below the window sill, the crack on the wall, and then the screed to be demolished, and it was so. My question is, what is the status of this building? Is it there, and at what stage of construction is it?
Chair, this construction is complete and is being used. I think there must be a status report by way of pictures.
Other than pictures, do you have any evidence to say this classroom block is complete in terms of completion certificates?
No, Chair, the completion certificate is not here.
Yes. So how are we going to take it that yes, it's complete? You may switch off your mic. All right.
Chair, ordinarily the completion certificate should have been provided.
Do you have it in Seshek?
Yes.
Please make arrangements with the Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, I'd like to lead the CS to page 5.
Page 5?
Actually, it starts from page 4. Failure to spend, Chair. Chair, you can see there, CS Sesheke has had almost 48 approved projects. Number of projects completed 18, work in progress 17, outstanding projects 13. Chair, if you go on page 5, you can see that the unspent funds are worth 6,422,620 kwacha 47 ingwe. This is the money, Chair, that is still unspent when the people, good people of Sesheke, need development. Chair, when you look at these outstanding 13 projects, on administrative cost, just above there on page 4, administrative cost, they are in negatives. Implying that, Chair, all the money on administrative cost has been utilized very well. It's all gone, it's finished, it's negative. Meanwhile, projects are still not yet completed. My question to the CS is, since you have got a lot of projects that are not yet completed, meanwhile, the administrative component is all exhausted, you have used it all, it's finished, there is zero. What will you use to monitor these 13 projects that are still outstanding? On top of that, Chair, what is the interest here? It's like projects are not finishing, but administrative component is finishing very effectively. What are you valuing most? Finishing the projects or finishing the administrative cost? I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Chair, our interest is to ensure that projects are completed timely. On the question as to what we are going to use to monitor the other projects that are not yet completed, Chair, we have a number of projects that are running. And so as we monitor the other projects within the same areas, we'll be able to also cover these projects.
The good part from Honorable Mainobi brought forward unfinished projects. In terms of the administration cost, we are yet to see now the council, and we expected Sesheke to be that council. That would have also seen brought forward and spent administration cost. But even Sesheke has proven just bringing forward works. The administrative cost done and dusted. Works, according to Honorable Shakafuswa, showed works. It would take the community, it would take the area member of parliament to ring the bell, to raise the red flag. We'll end here. We'll make our own comments on Sesheke.
Thank you, Chair.
You've not yet gone. Don't be in a hurry to leave.
I'm here, Chair.
But go back to Sesheke. You and your team to go and work for the people. I'm happy the stance that the ministry has taken. Not until you exhaust your monies shall you be able to be given the money which the ministry has received. 300 million. So if you will not be doing works, don't expect money. I should think that's the right move. Those who will be working, they are the ones, the more they give the claims, justify their works, they get the money. You heard it 2 days ago or yesterday, you heard, eh? You saw that, eh? It has changed. Work, justify, director of finance, get the money. No more heaping money on him and spent money. We are glad with the member of parliament who will raise red flag when the works are not well done. The community as well. Through Honorable Nyambose, Director of Works, no, I was not there, now you are there. Everyone else, I was not there, now you are there. Let's go and prove our capacities. Immunity withdrawn. Go well to Sesheke.
I'm Joseph Stali, the Vice Chairman of the Mukuni Market. As artists, we're always ready. And we know when we exhibit our products, of course, it will benefit us in one or another. There is a target, especially to us artists, because people, they come from different parts of the country and also of the world. So depend of which country somebody comes from, and also we know what they need.
My name's Kaputo Kafuala. I'm the secretary for this market, and a lot of people come at the falls, and what they normally do, they just come to the falls, then they go without supporting us as stereo traders. The main challenge is that they are not given enough time for them to have time to shop. I think that's the only challenge that we face as stereo traders.
meaning to the nation. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free. It must be taught to all our young people, to all our people in Zambia, each in various languages, and even those languages, the meaning of those words is the same. The same. Let the people understand exactly why they sing what they do.
Simwamene denze my baby, simwamene tina lili. Nigalanga masiku ya kudala. Simwamene denze my baby, simwamene tina lili. Ukamba na chinja, ukudina chinja chabe maningi simwamene tina lili. Ukamba na chinja, ukudina chinja chabe maningi simwamene tina lili.
You're welcome, Council Secretary and your team. We'll start with introductions. Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members of Parliament. Good morning, Lukuru Town Council. My name is John Siameja, Acting Director in the Office of the Auditor General, Western Province, standing in for the Auditor General. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee and Lukulu Council. My name is Mwenyana Chidima, Senior Auditor under Lusaka Province. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Unit in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, Kulu. My name is Chubuye Davis, Acting Assistant Director, Local Authorities, Minister of Finance, Internal Audit. Welcome.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members of the committee. And good morning, Lukulu. My name is Oscar Nyarenda from the Office of the Accountant General, Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and the honorable members of Parliament. Lukulu, you are welcome. I'm Edwin Silwemba, representing Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. Good morning, Lukulu Council. My name is Elvis Chipuka from the Parliamentary Budget Office.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, Lukulu Town Council. My name is Mulenga Bright from the Office of the Clerk.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of this committee. Good morning, Lukulu Town Council. My name is Stanley Kalala from the Office of the Clerk.
Good morning. I'm Moses Chuba from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you very much. Let me invite you now, Council Secretary, to introduce yourself and kindly allow your colleagues to do the same. Please proceed.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Phineas Mtonga. I'm the Council Secretary for Lukulu Town Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable MPs, colleagues from other ministries. My names are Christopher Shaw, and I'm the Director of Engineering for Lukulu Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Divine Tembo. I'm the District Planning Officer for Lukulu Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables, and good morning, members. I'm Christine Konayuma, the Deputy Council Secretary for Lukulu Town Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Akainga Isaac, the Director of Works, Director of Finance. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, colleagues. I'm Kabeto Hendricks, Deputy Council Treasurer, Lukulu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Members at the back there.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. I'm Mabuko Frank, Internal Auditor for Lukulu Town Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. My name is Lisa Mkopamali, Assistant Procurement Officer.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, introduction. Honorable Nyambose.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, CS and the team. Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province and a member of the committee. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, our permanent witness, and Lukulu Town Council. My name is Christopher Shaka Fuswa. I represent the good people of Mandevu, where you are here. So you are welcome to Mandevu constituency. I'm a member of the committee. Thank you.
It's surprising that when Honorable Shaka Fuswa was saying good morning, it's already afternoon, Chair, now, by a second. Good afternoon, Lukulu Town Council. This is Honorable Hamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency, bordering Lukulu. Thank you, Chair.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chairperson. I'm a client. We live in diaspora as Mitete in Lukulu. So there's a very big temptation. But my name is Mutelo Mishek, as you can see, your client. You know, when you sit before your landlord, it's a bit tricky. But my name is Mutelo Mishek, Member of Parliament for Mitete and a member of this committee. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Lukulu East. Is it? Yeah. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Area Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke district of the Eastern Province. You're welcome to your lovely committee. Thank you.
Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Once again, good morning, honorable members of Parliament, Lukulu Council, you're welcome, our permanent witnesses. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I am Member of Parliament for the good people of Kadulushi. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Accounting Secretary, my name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency and the chairperson for this committee. Your committee appearing before this afternoon. Council Secretary, members under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia enjoy immunity in the House, and the same is extended to you today as you appear before this committee and another committee, of course. But whatever you say will not be used against you, and unless you choose to mislead the committee, then the same will be used against you. But I have no doubt that you wouldn't do that, and that today you are going to give us the factual information that will help us, generate a very good report, which will be submitted before Honorable Madam Speaker in the main House. With that confirmation now, I want to invite you to make your submission, Council Secretary. Council Secretary, when I look at your report, Before we transact, when I look at your report today, what's your comment on your report? It looks what? So you didn't want it to look good last time. And it's a learning curve.
We apologize.
Let's get into business.
We apologize, Chair.
Let's get into business. This shows actually that you are ready.
Thank you.
Yes, please, you may proceed. Further guidance, Council Secretary, you read the query, the management response, the action that you have taken as management, and of course the remedy that you are offering. In that fashion, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. First of all, I also want to just thank you for giving us this opportunity as Lukulu Town Council to appear before your committee, Chair. But before we proceed, Chair, I have some correction to make on page 9.
Page 9.
Yes.
Honourable members, page 9 of the report.
Page 9, the table which says 2022 constituency development fund balances carried forward on community project status. Of particular interest is the row where the disaster contingency is. So along that row you have the 732,450. This figure to be replaced with 733.
Supposed to be 733.
Yes, then 387 or 587. Sorry. 587.
587.
Thank you. The next column there, the figure is okay, but the last column there, where there's a 371 670, should be replaced with 372 807.
807.
So naturally that will affect the totals down there. The first total of 12.6 becomes, or 12.6, 70612. It is replaced with 12670.
12670.
616.
616.
Yes, the mean total is correct. That is okay. Then the last total there is affected, so we have a replacement of 2,089 791. Thank you so much.
The last figure is this.
I think the addition.
I think you corrected them.
Yes, verified by the
the final ones are corrected already.
Yeah. Okay. With your permission, Chair.
Yes, you can get into business. Proceed.
Thank you so much, Chair. The first query is on Bursary Secondary School and skills development. That's low student turnout, Lukulu Skills Training Center. Management response, cause of query. The council management acknowledges the observations of the auditors and was largely due to students having high expectations, Chair, that accommodation and meals would be paid for under constituency development fund together with tuition fees. This was not the case, Chair. As a result, some students could not take up the sponsorship. Action taken, Chair. Lukulu Town Council management continued to sensitize the general public on the benefits of bursaries for skills development under the Constituency Development Fund. And remedial measure, Chair, going forward, the challenge of accommodation and meals will be a thing of the past, as these will be paid for under Constituency Development Fund bursaries together with tuition fees as guided by the circular number MLGRD 101/22/157, see Appendix 1. The next query, Chair.
Sorry, Council Secretary, that one we are reliably informed that is resolved, so you come to number 2, soft loans.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Skip that one.
Thank you so much, Chair. On soft loans, failure to avail approved loan application forms. Management response chair, cause of query. The council management acknowledges the observations made by the auditors, and this was due to the forms being submitted to the bank in Lukulu, which were later forwarded to the head office in Lusaka for appraisal. A request was made to the bank of which they were not availed for audit by the time of audit engagement completion. And action taken, Chair. Management wishes to report that a response has since been received from the bank and the documents are available for verification. See Appendix 3. Remedial measure, Chair. Council management will ensure that enough copies are made for submission to the bank as well as for retaining on the file. With your permission, Chair, I may cross over to the cross-cutting audit findings section.
Please proceed.
The first query is on budget performance in Appendix 1, where we are cited, Chair, and management response on the cause of query. Management acknowledges the query and wishes to state the following. Variance of 2 million kwacha. The variance in funding of 2 million kwacha was caused by funds withheld at source by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for purposes of procurement of motor vehicles for CDF monitoring and police in the constituency. The balance of 2,793,070 kwacha was as a result of 2021 CDF funding of 1.6 million that was received late in the last quarter and committed funds to 2020 on ongoing projects amounting to 1.1 million kwacha. Unspent fund of 21 million kwacha or 21.9 million kwacha. The unspent funds were as a result of the following, Chair. Subcategory community projects, late guidelines on implementation of CDF, training of WDCs, and orientation meetings on CDF guidelines. Lengthy project approval process compounded by prolonged contract clearance process by the Office of the Attorney General. In B, we have the disaster contingents, which is also part of the query there. In that amount, there were no reported disasters during the period under review. Then in C, we have empowerment loans, late guidance on the disbursements and general procedure with the financial institutions on soft loans as per circular ML/LG/1/20. See Appendix 4, Chair. In D, we have secondary and skills development. Poor response from the constituency as the sponsorship did not cover transport, accommodation, and meals for students. Then E, we have administrative cost, delayed implementation of CDF projects. Then action taken, Chair. The council management wishes to state that the balance of 2 million, the council has received the 2 motor vehicles from the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. The 2 motor vehicles whose registration numbers GRZ 150DA and ZP 2796 CB were received by the council chair. There's a brought forward balance of 2.7 million that is queried. The council management wishes to report that expenditure in amounts totaling 1.7 million was expensed during the period under review. A further 761,155 kwacha 47 ngwe was expensed on 2021 ongoing projects in 2023. The remainder of 240 is committed to an ongoing project at Muka Primary School. See the table below, Chair. So basically, there's a table there, Chair. This balance brought forward 2022, speaking to 2.7 million, how it has been broken down. And then we see Appendix A, sorry, see Appendix 4. And then we move to unspent funds, which is 21.9 million. The council management wishes to report that expenditure in amounts totaling to 15 million was expensed during 2023 on ongoing community projects from 2022 and beyond, and empowerment loans for 2022. The expenditure recorded on community projects includes expenses for varied funds from bursaries, secondary boarding schools, and skills community projects. Refer to the table below. Chair, there's a table below there which has its illustration. Probably I'll go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth column there, which has the figure in question, the 21.9 million, which was unspent funds as at the close of 2022. This figure, then we have the action taken there, that was in 2023, where we spent 15 million out of this figure, Chair, hence giving us a balance of 6.9 out of the unspent figure which has been queried in the question, Chair. Then we have another table here, Chair, which is talking about the variation, but this obviously is an issue for 2023, but we just brought it out just to show the flow of the outstanding amount. Then this is also in Appendix 4. Then the medium measure, Chair, going forward, Council management will take advantage of the provided guidelines on the implementation of CDF projects and the speedy approval system, which has now been delegated to the Office of the Provincial Local Government Officer to ensure full implementation of the projects. The next query is failure to spend, Chair, and this we have a table there. Then we have the variance of 10.1 there, and I go straight to the cause of query, Chair. Cause of query: the Council management acknowledges the observations made by the auditors on failure to spend funds due to late guidelines on implementation of CDF, training of WDCs, and orientation meetings on CDF guidelines, lengthy project approval process compounded by prolonged contract clearance by Office of the Attorney General. Action taken, Chair, on this one. The Council management has so far spent the balance of 10.2 million on 24 projects and a further 360,780 kwacha on reported disasters. See the table below. I think this is a table that we're just from making adjustments on. You can see the flow of the figures there. See Appendix 5. Remedial measure, Chair. Going forward, Council management will take advantage of the provided guidelines on implementation of CDF projects and the speedy approval system, which has now been delegated to the Office of the Provincial Local Government Officer to ensure full implementation of the projects. The next query, Chair, is on the misapplication of funds. There is a table there which shows the amount, which is 614,548. Straight to the cause of query, Chair. Cause of query: Council management acknowledges the observations made by the auditors on misappropriation of grants. The cause of the query is largely due to clubs spending money on activities that were not part of the project proposal. Action taken, Chair. Management continued sensitizing communities on the benefits of grants if well managed. Further, the Council management reported erring clubs misapplying grants to the police. See Appendix 6, Chair. On immediate measure, Chair, going forward, Council management will continue on beneficiary engagements and orientations to ensure adherence to CDF guidelines on various platforms, including the local radio station, the CDF Hour, then social media engagements, Facebook, and general engagement meetings, Chair. The next query is failure to disburse funds. We have a table there. Straight to the cause of the query. The Council management acknowledges the observations made by the auditors on the failure to disburse soft loans in 2022. The cause for this query was largely due to late guidance on the disbursement and general procedure on soft loans, which was only issued in the fourth quarter of 2022. Then action taken, Chair. The Council management dispersed the soft loans in 2023. See Appendix 7. Then on the medium measure, Chair, going forward, Council management will ensure loans are dispersed on time, considering that the guidance is now in place, Chair. With that, Chair, I beg to submit my report.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, any points of clarification? We dismiss the witness. Honorable Nyambose.
Chair, may I take this committee to page 7, Chair.
Page 7 of the report.
Yes. Chair, page 7 of the report. Unspent amount of 21,985,448. Chair, of particular interest, on the table there, question number 1, Council Secretary, I note that on the loan account, soft loans account, I see a balance of 94,350 kwacha. My first question, Chair, to the Council Secretary is that from the way I look at this figure, this was a balance from the total applicants. What would you attribute the low uptake in terms of loans in Sesheke? Oh, I beg your pardon, Chair. In Lukulu, my namesake, thank you. Lukulu, 94,350. That is my first question. On the same table, Chair, there is a balance carried forward to 2023 on the community projects. 1,718,000 kwacha. 121 was still outstanding on the community projects, not paid. But when you look at the administrative cost, Chair, the last number 5 on that table shows the administrative cost. As at that time, it showed 00. How did you spend this administrative cost when there were still outstanding works on the community projects and other projects? Last one, Chair, goes on page 8. It's the same question. I just wanted to take interest, Chair, on the table on page 8. You will note that Lukulu Council, as at December 31st December 2022, Chair, amounts to be varied. They had 4,489,073 kwacha turning way. These figures were outstanding on skills development and bursaries, Chair, indicating that there was low uptake on this vote. So they had a balance as at 31st December of 4,489,73 kwacha turning way. This money was carried forward, and they proposed then to vary these monies to buy desks and also rig. Chair, the question to the Council Secretary and the team: have you procured the rig and desks arising from the proposal that you vary the funds? And did you get this authority from the ministry to do these variations to buy the 2 items, which are desks and rig? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary, quite a number of questions there.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair and Honorable MP, for those questions. First of all, I'll look at the administrative cost there. When you look at the figure there, first of all, in the first, this is the fourth column there, we have 1.286,996. This is the total administrative component rising from the 5% of 25.7 million. So that figure there is what we go with all the way. We've been spending using that same figure there for just one particular year. So we spent 714,527 within 2022. And at the end of the year, 2022, we remained with a balance of 572,469 kwacha. This money was actually then spent in the year 2023, outside 2022, all of it, and thereby we remained with nothing. We have not incorporated the administrative component for the year 2023 yet. So this is the scenario on the administrative component there. Then on the figure 1,718,121, which is still outstanding there. I think this figure has commitment. The projects are running, so it's under commitment. I think we'll have a schedule. We'll look at the display of the projects that are under this figure. Then we also there was also a question on the loan balance of 94,350. This balance, I would say this was, I think, a state applicant that failed to actually collect this money because I think documentation was not properly, submitted. So it remained outstanding, and the council position on this is that this figure will be actually reported back to the CDF committee so that it can be put as part of the new loans. I think I've tackled most of those, unless there's something which I've left out. Variation. Oh, thank you so much for reminding me on that one. Variation, we have a variation, of course, as you can see, these figures are coming from the bursaries, where the uptake, of course, is very, very low, as we can see from there. And the 4 million, that's 4.4, yes, 4.4, actually was a valid 881 for this, and then the 3.6 for the rig. Now, I must report that the rig is still underway. We have not completed the process of actually securing the rig. But for the desk, we have actually procured the desk. We have the desk in place. And in terms of chair, getting authority was sought from the ministry, and we granted authority to vary the funds.
And you have the documentation to that effect?
Chair, I must say that when we looked at the period falling into 2023, so we did not expect that probably this will be one of the issues that will be under 2022. So we have not come with the documentation for the variation, but we have documentation. Thank you. I submit, Chair.
Chair, thank you so much for the opportunity once again, and thanks CS for the explanation. I'll take you to the same issue of variations. This money, 4.4 million, was for the year 2022, but because of the low uptake, you were supposed to vary and spend it within 2022. The first one, Lukulu. I don't know why Seshek is coming. Lukulu, you applied to buy desks from the same amount, totaling 881,490. So after procuring these desks, which came with a police directive from the president that no child should sit on the floor, these number of desks that you procured from 800, less than a million, were they enough, or was this the deficit that Lukulu had, that you only dedicated only 881 toward the desks for this period? 2, you say the procurement of the rig is underway. From 2022, we are in 2024. Can you tell this committee specifically at which stage is the procurement of the rig? This was the money for 2022. Up to now, you're saying underway. What do you mean that you're underway? And any evidence to show this committee the stage at which the procurement of the rig is? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair, for that question. I think on the desks, I'll state here, Chair, that the total deficit was 5,484 desks that we needed to procure. So what we procured so far, that's about 2,900 thereabouts. Now we still have a shortfall of about 3,000, which we intend to buy this year, because we are alive to the presidential directive that by 31st December 2024, no pupil or student should sit on the floor. So we are alive that fact, and this is why we have a commitment for this year to actually handle the balance from the 5,484,000. I submit, Chair.
The other question?
The other question on the rig, we have not brought in terms of the authority, but we have some documentation pointing to that, and we can show this house in terms of the clearance from the Attorney General and even the minutes of the Constituency Development Fund Committee. I submit.
The question is, at what stage is it? Is it on the way? Is it at DA, or which stage of the procurement process?
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to pass it to the Director Works.
Director Works.
Thank you, Chair. With regards to the procurement of the rig, it's still in the process. We engaged the suppliers as to what the status was as of February. They informed us that they've paid so far a down payment towards the rig, and it is waiting for the final payment, and it's still at the hub in India. So as we speak, that is basically the information that we have from the particular supplier.
So, okay, Honorable Mutero.
Chair, I'm interested to know when Lukulu has a rig, immediate will benefit, and of course will not struggle to be looking. Now you are saying they paid who? Because we expect the council to have paid. Now you are bringing a third person. Whom are you referring to when you are saying they paid?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe I give more background to the rig issue. The council engaged a particular supplier to supply this rig.
Just on there.
Okay.
Do you have the documentation pertaining to that?
No, Chair, we didn't come with the documentation.
What evidence will your committee get to say it's true you engaged the supplier? You want your committee just to believe like that?
No, Chair, I think the CS...
Thank you very much.
That's where we are, sir, with the league. Before I leave the mic, if you may switch off. CS, okay, sir, you are saying no desks about. You have mentioned 2 abouts. What is the right figure as to the total number of desks procured so far and the balance remaining? Do you have the real figures?
Thank you, Chair. I think actually the figures are there. The DPO will actually make a submission there. There's a breakdown of the figures.
DPO?
Yes, please.
How many have we procured so far?
Thank you, Chair. As of now, we've procured about 2,200. We've procured 2,267.
You have evidence to that.
There's a ledger to it.
Where is the ledger? On which appendix?
Unless you're looking for that, Honorable Nyambose?
Chair, I'm interested in the issue of the rig. It's a very important issue, Chair. This is a very important machine, as indicated by Honorable Mtelo. Chair, if my memory serves me right, there is one council that appeared before this committee, and if you're allowed to mention, was Lundazi. Lundazi, they had proposed, they had set aside 3.7 million to procure a rig, but upon application, they discovered the amount was low. Here we have Lukulu Council. Them, they have, it is at the harbor, procuring it at 3.6 million. May I know who is this supplier? And when did you make this procurement? When did you release the money? As the Lukulu Council, you are the one procuring. Did you procure direct, or you procure using a third party who has used his own money? And what is the total price, the cost price of this particular rig? Lastly, when do you envisage to see this rig at Lukulu Council starting to work? From 2022, this is 2024. Chair, the ban rate rests on the Member of Parliament. They are keeping 3.6 million. They don't know where which harbor this rig is. So I would like also to know which particular harbor, because this is a committee of evidence, and you should be able to tell this committee those facts, because you say the harbor, you should know which harbor, and the supplier of this rig. I submit.
Honorable Nyambose, listening from the director of works, I doubt if you have a rig, because when my colleague further asked him if he has documents pertaining to where the rig is or the payments, said he didn't have the documents. So if we have no documents, do you have, maybe I ask you one more time, do you have the contract agreement with the supplier? What's that?
Chair, these are minutes from the procurement committee.
No. You see,
and the contract? And also the contract, sir.
Yes, the contract. Who is the contractor? My colleague, Honorable Nyambose, wants to know.
The contractor is, or the supplier, is Two-Time Investment.
When was that written? When did you sign the agreement with the contractor?
The agreement was signed on the 5th of October 2023.
5th of October?
Yes.
And what's the contractual period?
The contractual period for delivery was 3 months.
October 2023?
Yes.
We are not yet out of 3 months.
We are. This contract was extended for with regards to the delivery period.
My colleague there, Honorable, without engaging you like that, Honorable Nyambose wanted to know, and you mentioned of the harbor. Is it true? Is that the harbor?
From the information we're getting from the supplier, it's at the harbor in India called Mundra.
Do you have the documentation?
We received invoices for the down payment from the supplier, and that's as far as we have for the documentation.
But where are those invoices?
We didn't carry them.
Yes, Honorable Nyambose, then Honorable Shaka.
Chair, history is very important, and it should help to inform the councils. Prior to 2022, Honorable Shakafuswa here and others who have been in local government to agree to the fact that some councils procured machinery from abroad which never arrived. And take me. And the council secretary here has been in the council for so many years, and he was the treasurer and whatever, director of finance. The question is it not the same thing that happened before? If not, have you released the down payment arising from that invoice or those invoices that you are exchanging to this supplier? And was it what do you call the tendering process? How did you pick this supplier? Did you single source, or it was a public tender? Can we see the minutes of the procurement committee and other details so that we are satisfied that this may not be the tekmia that duped councils in this country and took away public resources? We would like to preserve the resources so that the machinery can be in Lukulu's chair as a bit.
Thank you. Before you respond, I'd seen a hand from...
I'd wanted perhaps to deal with the rig thing. I have another question on the same, on the bursaries, but I want this one to exhaust it so that I don't punch it.
On the league, when you go to page 67 of Appendix 4, that might give us some clue as to what the council has done and where we are.
Page?
Page 67, Appendix 4, number 31. Are you there? Yes. What are those figures in telling the committee? Because that might give us as to where we are.
Through you, Chair. We are on page 67, and I believe we are referring to the issue for the rig where the council has paid 850 as down payment of an outstanding amount of 3.4 million.
31 on the table, sir.
Okay. Procurement of the rig.
So, yes. Through you, Chair. So the council has paid so far 850.
Yes.
And those are the receipts that the council has.
Yes.
Which are not before the committee.
Yes.
You know, we are questioning because when you see 32, just on the same, you've just said rehabilitation of blown-off roof under disaster. We don't know where that rehabilitation is. That's why we are not satisfied with this. You just wrote the rehabilitation. Do you rehabilitate in the air?
Council Secretary or Director.
Thank you, Chair.
Do you have a procurement officer?
Yes, Chair, we do.
Procurement officer. How was the tendering of this Yes.
Yes, Chair.
So how was the tendering of this? Was it single sourcing or public advert?
No, it was actually open bid national. We advertised in the newspaper, then we received some contractors that responded to the tender.
Okay.
Yes.
So how many suppliers did you receive?
Received, I think, three suppliers, yes.
3 suppliers, and
yes.
This one was the best?
Yes.
Okay, you made the payments?
Yes, payment was, what, repeat the question again, Chair?
I'm saying you made payment, the down payment.
Yes, the down payment was made because the contract clearly states that we are supposed to pay 25% of the contract. Then the other percent is supposed to be paid when it's delivered.
Did you get pictures or photos of this thing you are paying for?
Pictures? Yes, there are pictures.
They are here.
You have them?
Are they attached here?
They are in the phones, Chair. They are soft copies, Chair.
They are on phones. Okay, yes, Honorable. You can switch off your mic. Procure.
And on this particular supply contract for the rig, does the document stipulate advance payment bond from the contractor? And then the next one is, this is a machine which is being imported from India. Did the technical team at award or before award do a due diligence to go and check the technical specifications of the rig that the supplier promised to supply according to the specifications, but to go and check before you could award the contract? Thank you.
Unfortunately, due diligence was not performed. We were supposed to perform due diligence when the machine arrived in Lusaka. Yes.
Yes, yes, Honorable Nyambose.
Chair, Council Secretary, experience is the best teacher. There is one council which has a rig in Eastern Province. It's called the Chipangali Council. Mr. Mtonga, you are aware they procured that rig at 4-point-something million by then a Minister of Infrastructure, then in the former regime, Vincent Mwale, when he was MP for Chipangari. It was procured at 4-point-something million. We are not questioning very much, or we are doubting at 3.4 that you are procuring a rig which you have not done the due diligence. You are dealing with a supplier. You have just got soft copies of the same machine without checking the specification, because this is a very, what you call, doctor, such a machine, specialized machine. You may end up getting a tipper truck. What will happen? Because we have the fears. Looking at the amounts, I'm telling you this, you check Lundazi, they were here, Chair, the 3.7, they failed that to do a variation until they, so 3.4, a machine which I've not seen, and this supplier, me, I'll be the happiest and celebrate Lukulu having a machine at that amount, and that it will come without problems. History is the best teacher. Always check through so that your names are clear.
Thank you. Honorable Shakafuso, I wanted to ask a different question.
Yes, the 4.4 that was varied to the rig. How much sensitization have you done for these bursaries, considering that only 43 were able to take up the bursary component of CDF? Perhaps you can even give us a glimpse into 2023, because we would want our children there to benefit from these bursaries.
Council Secretary.
Thank you very much. I think on Chair, on sensitization, we have done sensitization, and as already alluded to, the uptake has been, no doubt about it, has been very low on bursaries. Yeah, but that does not suggest that we haven't been doing sensitization. We have been doing sensitization through radio, public meetings, and the like. Probably, Chair, I would say it's an issue where you say you can take a donkey to the pool, but difficult to make it drink the water. Otherwise, we have not relented. We continue sensitizing, Chair. Then on the comment by Honorable Nyambose on the due diligence, I totally agree. That is very cardinal in this process, and I think as we earlier submitted that due diligence will be done when the machine lands in Lusaka. Obviously, we've paid down payment 25% as per contractual agreement. And then with the balance has to be paid when the machine actually lands in Lukulu. Then we'll be comfortable that we have the machine, then the monies can go. So that is the position, and for due diligence, obviously when it lands in Lusaka, we'll definitely go to inspect. If the inspection suggests that all the specs have been met, then we are comfortable with paying for that, Chair. I submit, Chair.
Before I call in my colleagues, have the numbers under secondary and skills bursary improved in 2023? I know we also have an allocation for 2024.
In terms of the numbers, there's some improvements, right? No slight improvement. I won't say much, but actually it's an upward trend in terms of numbers.
What is the main challenge? Do you have boarding facilities? What is the problem?
Yes, Chair. I think, like we earlier alluded to, the main problem has been that of transport, meals, accommodation, and the like. But now that these provided for under CDF, we have that circular which now mandates us or gives us now that leverage to actually provide for those. And if people are properly sensitized on these now, that the provision for transport, provision for the meals, provision for accommodation, I'm sure numbers will swell, Chair. I submit.
Honorable Mchilo, then Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Chair,
we make progress.
Yes, sometimes when you bring evidence, you make life better for yourself. You have a radio station in Ilukulu, yes or no? Yes. And you are on air?
Every Friday, yes, Chair.
Do you have the evidence of the paid for program?
Chair, we have the pictures to show and some
do you have
schedules.
the evidence that you have paid for this radio program?
Chair, I will say we didn't bring the spec for the payment, but we have paid, Chair, and evidence is there. Thank you.
Share with the Secretariat, just to make life easy for yourselves. Would you say you would share with the Secretariat?
Yes, please, Chair. I submit.
Chair, page 67, on the same page, Appendix 4. And then page 43. But page 67, are you seeing number 32?
Yes, Chair.
You read what you are seeing.
On page 67, number 32 in the schedule, we have Lukulu East, rehabilitation of blown-off roofs under disaster.
So where are those roofs? Do you have the list of the blown-off roofs?
Thank you so much, Chair, for that question. We have a list. I'm sure my Director Works will give the breakdown of that.
Director Works?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We do have a list, though it's not attached. The sites that
you have it here.
I'm saying there was a list, maybe not with us now.
Yes.
Okay.
So again, do you make life easy for yourselves? Are you going to submit that list?
Yes, we'll submit that list, Chair.
Page 43. Chair, on that one then now.
Please go ahead.
43. Number 4. Where are we with that project? Director of Works.
Through the Chair. I expected this question, to be honest, because this is one of the projects that is the only outstanding one from the old projects. And the reason is...
From which year?
From 2021.
Exact. Outstanding up to date, and you expected it. So, continue elaborating.
Yes, for this particular project, it is in a very swampy area, making life difficult for any contractor on site. And the contract, I think, was signed in December 2021. Due to the main issue, which is water, the contractor couldn't work continuously. And then eventually, I think we noticed that there was non-performance. and this particular contract was terminated. Due to the time that had lapsed, we had to source for funding or wait for additional funding. And at that time, I think in 2023, projects were already allocated and funds were committed. So at the time when we managed to find some funds, I think the CDFC approved additional funding. So this particular contract can be completed. And as we speak, I think we have a contractor who's not about to complete, but is mobilized and ready to go to site.
So the swampiness has stopped?
It hasn't stopped.
So how is he going to go?
We don't have a lot of rains as we speak, so we are hoping that maybe he will be able to get to site. But what we really wanted to do is to have somebody.
Through you, Chair, I expected that answer. That now we do not have a lot of rains. Because you can, if the place is accessible now during the drought, then in some year, from January to December, there must be a time when that place is accessed. But it's worrying. CS 2021 to date.
Yes, Honorable Nyambose.
Yeah, when I listen to the Director of Works,
Want to wind down?
he's saying that in 2023 they didn't have funds to allocate to this project. But is he happy now that funds were sourced? I wanted to find out from the Director of Works, the Council Secretary, through the Council Secretary, I mean, when did you source these funds which you could not get in 2023? And do you have even any evidence of the CDF committee minutes and the approval of the variation attached? And I want to emphasize, we are evidence-based committee. Anything that you say should show. Can you lead us to the appendix that speaks to what you have just submitted, other than having oral conversations? Which has been seen, Chair.
Dr. Mwanza, we are winding up, please, before they respond.
Thank you
Your
so
question?
much. Page 5.
I hope it's one question.
Budget performance.
Budget performance. On page 5 of your report, Council
Yes.
Secretary.
Page 5, budget performance. The table, there's a table there.
Yes.
There's a balance brought forward, which we are assuming these are monies from 2021, 2020, is 2.7 million. 2.7 million, and then I refer you to page 43.
Page 43.
Of Appendix 4. Appendix 4, Chair, page 43.
43, yes.
Is a breakdown of how they spent the brought forward funds.
Yes.
The table is written very clearly that Lukulu Town Council status of 2020 and 2021 CDF community projects.
Yes.
So the total amount at the end, the total amount is in 3,129,348.46.
3 million.
3 million, which is the total is on page 45. Now you can see that the budget brought forward was 2.7, and then page 45 you have committed 3.12 million kwacha. Actually, the right title for this third column is supposed to be contract sum. Not so. Yes, it's a contract sum. So all these monies have already been committed through these contracts. But the amount of money that you have committed is above the collection from 2020, 2021. Why this discrepancy? Then I've observed a very serious I can say anomaly in the execution of community projects, in more especially the financials in Lukulu Town Council. Just on the same page of 43, Chair, you have a project, for example, 1x3 classroom block, Kashongo. The contract sum, 371,059, is 100% equal to the spent. All the projects that have been completed, the contract sum, the contract sum the contractor signed for is the exact amount of money that council pays out. These are measured works. They cannot be exact. So there's that contract sum that you sign. As the work progresses, you do certify works. In fact, you've seen, Chair, many of these projects have had a lot of defects, a lot of defects that require remedies and so on. But Lukulu, any contractor who signs a contract at such an amount is assured to get the same amount of money. Why this peculiarity? And project number 4 on page 43, 1x2 classroom block at Muko. No, not this one. Project number 12 on page 44. This project number 12, staff house at Nalusheke. The contract sum was 134,139. And the spent is exactly as the contract sum. And at the end, this contract is terminated and awarded to another contractor. There's a comment. Contract was terminated, another contractor was engaged to complete and handed over the house. But the budget for this particular project, 134, was paid definitely to the first contractor. Where did the council find money to pay the second contractor? Or is it that from this, anyway, I don't want to explain, you explain why this kind of contractor is paid in full, and then a contract is terminated, you award another contractor. Where did you get the funds to
Thank you very much. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. I would love to pass that one to the Director Works. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
I'll start with the last one.
Yes.
I've
Switch off your mic, Council Secretary. Thank you.
So for Nalusheke, it states that the contract was terminated and another contractor was awarded. Probably this should have come out in this table. The second contractor was awarded at 90,000. So initially the difference was paid to the earlier contractor, then the second one came to site. And there's a picture to show that the project is complete in the appendices. And also I believe there's a ledger from the first contract where to show a balance of about 90,000, which was used to complete the staff house. And this particular staff house was all...
Where is that ledger? Just calm down. Where is the ledger? You should be leading us. This one, let's go to page this. This is the money that remained. We explain. Page what?
So we are on page 52.
Page 52.
The ledger on top there.
Okay.
So the 90,000, I think you can see it somewhere on the ledger that I was talking about.
Pardon?
That was when the second contractor came on site. So basically, it might not clearly come out to say there were two contracts on the ledger as well, but I think that is the reality on the ground in terms of what happened.
Listen, Director of Works. That's what I'm saying. Can you calm down? When you say it's the reality on the ground, yes, we are not disputing that. But is it the reality on your report?
No, Chair.
Yes. So you are supposed to you bring what is on the ground, put it on the report. Then we'll go on the same page. Because as it is now, it's that we are lost. Because you are now orally submitting. That's what I'm saying. If we wanted you to submit orally, we would have called you on phone from Lukulu. But we said, can you submit a report? In that report, you are supposed to say, on this contract, on this particular contract, we had 2 contractors. The first one worked up to this end and terminated. Then the balance, it was for the final works. Like that. Are we going to ask? No. Now, when you say this is the reality on the ground, we don't know. As far as we are concerned, it's not the reality because you didn't put it here. Honorable.
Chair, it's one contract according to the ledger here.
Page 52,
It is
showing it's
yes,
the same contractor.
It is one contractor who got all these 5-6 payments, totaling to 134,000 kwacha.
Any more explanation on these payments?
Chair.
Yes.
That's why I've constantly said, CS and your team, you are just making life so hard for yourselves. Director of Works, do you have the documentation concerning termination and re-engagement? No wonder you are now saying, unfortunately, this is showing one contractor. If we can't make mention of these things, you continue making the same mistakes. Do you have such documentations? Chair, if you have again paid up to 100%, where is the retention money? Are you aware of the liability period? So if you pay the whole money and say something happens, where are you going to get the money to go and work on the same projects? Chair, just to those observations. Me, I don't ask questions. I just like bringing observations. And if you don't, tell your committee.
Council, is it Council Secretary or Director? Council Secretary?
Thank you, Chair. I think, not even I think, but I think the position is that we don't have the documentation as it is. So we avail at an appropriate time. I know we apologize that we were not able to bring that part of documentation, Chair.
Yes. Honorable Nyambose, want to...
Chair, it's quite unfortunate that the very critical and important evidence is not given, and we just engage in a oral conversation. Anything that they're supposed to put here, very critical. Do you offer a contract at 5 kwacha, same payment 5 kwacha, it comes out? The issue is no. If you read this report, which themselves submitted, they should have taken care of that. And Director of Works, this is exposing your office. Even you, Council Secretary, you should have taken note and taken interest. How do you have a Director of Works who produces this type of a report? That a contract, which is even by Ngwe, that is how. So there was a leakage to the bidders that this is the amount of the contract through the BOQs. And then you pay correctly. So, Chair, me, I have a problem. First, I take note of these observations so that when the employers come, we're able to give. Because these are public resources. These are serious omissions, Chair. We should not intervene.
Thank you very much. We will make our recommendations like you are putting it. Yes, your question was on...
My question is on the contract sum equal to the spent, and then the balance brought forward as per page 5 is 2.7 million. This money balance brought forward is from 2020 2021, it is 2.7 million, which is correctly reflected on page 5. Then you take this balance brought forward and apportion it to projects, which is shown on page, which is shown in the appendix, appendix 4. When you have apportioned this money, you have apportioned, apparently you have apportioned up to 3 million.
Yes. Council Secretary, there are two questions that he's asking. One, why do you have all the projects, like even the budgeted project maybe is 5,000. Then the contractor gets exactly 5,000 on project. That's number one. Number two, balance brought forward is 2.7, but you, according to the payments, according to the ledger here, you have gone up to 3 million plus. So where did you get the difference?
Thank you so much, Chair, for that question. I think on the projects where the balances, there's new balance after the payment, and it's not showing like it's excess or less. The Director Works will come in on that one. And on the figure, which is in excess, the Director Finance will actually elaborate on that, Chair. Thank you.
Director Finance, we are winding up. Yes, Director Finance, your comment?
Okay, thank you, Chair. From what I've gotten is there's a column for budget, budgeted amount, then there's also a column for spend to date, then there's a variance there. So at the time of awarding, that is where the budget is, at the time of awarding. Yes. Yes. I agree with you. So this was the contract sum where it's getting budget. So these were contract sums. And there's a spent to date. So at the time of awarding of these contracts, these were the monies. So from these monies, we spent something from there. No wonder, I think if you look at the totals there, there's a 3.1 million and a 2.7 million. So I think looking at the difference between the two, that is what we had spent. But coming to 2022, this amount was unspent at that time. No wonder it was queried, but from this same 2.7, we spent 1.7 something. Okay, no wonder now from the spending, that money, at least there's something like 700,000, which was allocated to another project, then a 240, which is appearing there, which now is going to Muka.
No, I can't follow it, you know. You see, let me say this, that the purpose of you going through Charimbana is to make sure that you make everything very clear. But what we are discovering is that no matter how much you ask you, is that Council Secretary, you don't sit as management to go through question by question, query by query. You see, for instance, if you have a query on page 5, that query should lead you to the appendix which you submit to us. You should have gone through that appendix yourselves and find these things. Just let me pick up on the contract for the rig. You know that the rig is somewhere that side. First, you need the picture for us to convince us that this is the machine that we paid for, and this is what we have paid, and this is the period that we have given in the documentary evidence, you know, in writing, to say, no, our engagement with these people, this is where we are. No, we have spoken, we spoke to him or we engaged him sometime. We want documents aligned like that. And you see, when you come here, you must have coordinated the responses. Your report should be well coordinated. What the Deputy Council Secretary has is what the Director Finance has, because you have gone through the report and you are able to defend your report in that way. Where you don't have documents, you come out and say, no, we do not have documentation here. When you take up a position as Council Secretary, everybody, that's the position of everyone. We do not want to have these. We want to appreciate your appearance before this committee, but we want you to go and put your house in order, work as a team, and make sure that the queries are given the seriousness they deserve. you look at them thoroughly. We do not take pride, to be going around and talking about something. What makes us spend a lot of time is your responses, period. We ask you, where is the invoice? It's here. Where is the contract? It's here. Why is this amount like this? No, we valid it. This is the document. We valid it. This is the authority that we got. We dismiss the meeting. But because when you sit, you say, we are going to explain. Not to these committees. Accounting committee will not explain. No matter how good you are in English in explaining, we will not allow that, because we want you to convince us with the documents so that we know that the monies and everything is in good hands and safe hands. Thank you for making appearance, and at this hour let me withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to travel back to Rukuru. Dr. Kalira is waiting for you somewhere per station. Thank you very much.
Continue to spread love this February with Topstar and enjoy affordable entertainment. For a monthly subscription of 180 kwacha on Antenna Classic OD Smart, experience the excitement of the Bundesliga title race on Saturday the 24th as trailing Bayern faces Leipzig at 19:30 hours live on World Football. Also returning to action is the CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup. Watch TP Mazembe versus Pyramids on Saturday the 24th at 15 hours and Al Ahly versus Young Africans on Saturday the 2nd of March at 18 hours live in HD on Sports Premium. But there is more. Fantasy becomes reality with Novella E+, premiering My Forever Sunshine, airing from 27th at 21:30 hours. Also follow love and passion as it crosses paths in a family affair every day at 20:40 hours. Entertain the little ones with great kids shows on Boag, CBBS and ST Kids plus more. Subscribe now. Topstar. Enjoy digital life.
K-Ani Music.
She's so tired. I'm my guy's my player. Oh, she ever wanted someone. I didn't genuinely love no care. I didn't wanna be seen if it doesn't come. I saw me like them, I wanna go step down. But you never wrong, you won't say, but baby, I'm my pizza. She pictures herself walking down the aisle. But you won't say I'm a pizza. Baby, dumb, please. Pretty independent lady. Karina, you don't say my quality is stuck in her. She don't